Hey, what's going on? It's Sway. It's been a while since I've competed, so needless to say, I was super excited to shoot this past weekend. I used a steel match, which is what you're seeing now, as a warm-up for the USPSA match. I figured it would help get some of the jitters out of the way while I get back into competing, and it did. My wife suggested my shooting videos would be better if I added some commentary, adding what I'm thinking or trying to accomplish while shooting, and because she's a cinematic pro, I'm going to heed her wise advice. So without further ado, let's just jump into the match. I wanted to start by highlighting that my personal goal for the match, despite not having competed in 8 months, was to be as accurate as possible. Naturally, I knew this would impact my speed, but I wanted to baseline my progress. So even though my speed would take a hit, I wanted to be deliberate with my shots and improve on acquiring my second sight picture for that follow-up shot. Now this stage goes pretty quickly, but some takeaways are I need to practice transitioning from facing uprange to downrange and then getting those shots off. I get 2 A's, but could have taken a lot shorter. And then transitioning to those poppers should have been a lot smoother, but I rushed them. And then I hesitated on that last target. Wasn't sure if I hit 2 A zones. I corrected, but I wound up with 1 Charlie, 1 Alpha. So this shooting bay was set up as a USPSA Classifier, consisting of 2 separate USPSA stages, 6 and Tick-Tock. These 2 stages are pretty straightforward and not as complex as the ones I've seen. Need to work on transitioning faster with my double shots, getting that second sight picture a lot quicker, and then moving on. My reload wasn't that bad, which I'm kind of proud of. This stage is pretty straightforward. I hesitated on my transitions a little bit. I gotta work on making less of a motion when going from target to target. I make too big of a motion. You see it in my hands as well as I felt it in my feet. I was sweeping too much. I should try to work on shooting while on the move. I messed up my transition between the last 2 portions of the stage. I should have reloaded before that last engagement, but I forgot. I don't know what was going on in this first target. I kept shooting and for whatever reason my eyes were not registering A zones. I did wind up getting A zones. The second portion of the stage, I overshot the transition. I went too far forward for that target on the left and then had to take a step and a half back. Then transitioning to this outer targets, I landed on the board, had to adjust my feet while I was shooting. It was kind of awkward, kind of threw me off mentally. Also reloading, I gotta work on this, you'll see this a bunch. I should just release the mag as I transition to grab my secondary mag and then rotate while I load. The first segment of this stage is pretty easy. However, I failed to remember to reload on the run to the second portion. Engaging those poppers far off in the back was a little bit of a struggle. Should probably work on longer distance training. Engaging that second set of targets. That first shot, I don't know what happened. It flew off. But I had a quick recovery and moved on. Again, you can see the mag sticking into the well. Turning my wrist too soon before it drops. This stage is pretty easy. You do have to lean in the first 2 segments, which makes it a little difficult to engage the target. Before actually running the round, I basically ran it full speed, like a dry run, so I need to work on my cardio. At those second targets, I shot 4 and there was only 3, so I'm pretty sure I shot faster than they were falling, which is pretty cool. Again, in the last segment, my foot was almost falling off. I didn't want to shoot out of bounds, so I had to correct. Some key takeaways from the match. First, allow mags to drop before rotating my wrist. Second, work on faster sight picture while on the move. Third, train at 15 to 25 yards more often. All in all, my classifier performance improved by reaching a higher hit factor, which is USPSA's way of saying points per second. Although I didn't get first in my division, I did get first within the unclassified shooters within my division, which is pretty cool. Overall, even with an 8 month hiatus, my overall placement improved, which is a win for me. I'd account that to getting more A-zone hits, since speed is something I need to improve on still. I had a few clean runs this match, so I'll end this video with some match day audio. Peace.
2 alpha, 2 alpha. 2 alpha, 2 alpha.
2 alpha, 2 alpha.
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 2 alpha. All right,
2
take 'em
alpha.
up.
Perfect.
All alpha?
Alpha's all the way.
Thank you, sir.